So imagine this. You watched all the Harry Potter movies. You know the spells, the battles, the ending. But what if I told you you've only seen the surface? Because the movies didn't just remove scenes. They remove context, the kind that makes characters feel real, choices feel heavier, and the entire story feel deeper. And once you see these missing moments, you don't just watch Harry Potter anymore. You start to understand it. In the movies, Dudley stays exactly what you expect, loud, cruel, and honestly, forgettable. But in the books, there's a quiet moment that changes everything. Before leaving, Dudley actually turns to Harry and thanks him. It's awkward, forced, like he doesn't even know how to say it properly. And Harry just stands there, confused, because no one in that house has ever treated him with even basic kindness. Why this matters. The movies make the Dursleys feel like cartoon villains, but the books show something more uncomfortable. People can change. And suddenly, Harry's childhood isn't just tragic. It feels real. The movies present James Potter like a flawless hero, but the books do something much braver. They show Harry the truth. His father was arrogant, a bully, especially towards Snape. Imagine growing up idolizing someone, only to find out they weren't who you thought. Why this matters. This forces Harry to grow. He doesn't just inherit his father's legacy, he questions it. And that adds a layer the movies barely explore. Being good isn't about who your parents were. It's about the choices you make. In the movies, the Marauders map is just a clever magical object. But in the books, it holds an entire story inside it. Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, Prongs. For boys who became inseparable. But here's what changes everything. Remus Lupin wasn't just a teacher with condition. He was a kid who turned into something dangerous every full moon. Alone in pain, completely cut off from everyone else. And his friends, they refused to let that happen. So they did something incredibly dangerous. They secretly became animagi, illegal, complex magic, just to stay with him during those nights. Think about that. They didn't do it for power. They didn't do it for recognition. They did it so their friend wouldn't suffer alone. Why this matters. The map isn't just a tool. It's a memory of loyalty. The nicknames aren't just fun. Their identities built from friendship. And the tragedy? That bond completely collapses. One dies protecting his family. One lives hunted and alone. One carries guilt for the rest of his life. And one betrays them all. So every time Harry uses that map, he's holding a piece of a friendship that was strong enough to break the rules of magic and fragile enough to fall apart. That depth, the movies barely touch it. Movie Hermione is smart. Book Hermione is aware. She notices something no one else questions, house elves being treated like property, and decides to fight it, even when people laugh at her, even when her own friends don't fully understand. Why this matters. The movies show you a magical world. The books show you a flawed one. And Hermione isn't just a smart one. She's the one willing to challenge the system itself. If you've only seen the movies, Ginny feels quiet, like she's just there. But in the books, she's bold, confident, unafraid. She builds her own life, dates other people, leads when others hesitate. And when it comes to Harry, she doesn't wait for him. She stands beside him. Why this matters. Their relationship feels real, not rushed, not forced. It's built on shared experience, respect, and timing. And that makes their story hit harder. After Dumbledore dies, the movie moves on quickly, but the book doesn't. It slows everything down. Harry isn't just reacting, he's processing. The loss, the silence, the realization that the one person who always had answers is gone. Why this matters. This is the moment everything shifts. From school to war. And without that emotional pause, the weight of what Harry is about to face doesn't fully land. In the movies, Kreacher is easy to ignore. Just a bitter, unpleasant character in the background. But the books give him something unexpected. A transformation. Kreacher wasn't just mean. He was shaped by years of loyalty, neglect, and the values he was raised with. And at first, he treats Harry the same way. But then Harry does something different. He shows him respect, gives him purpose. And slowly, Kreacher changes. Not instantly, not perfectly, but genuinely. And in the final battle, Kreacher leads the house elves into war. Fighting, protecting, choosing a side. Why this matters. Because this isn't just about Kreacher. It's about what influence looks like. The movies focus on big heroes and big battles. But the books show something quieter. That the way you treat someone can rewrite who they become. And that kind of change is just as powerful as any spell. The final battle in the movies is huge, chaotic, spectacular, but the book takes a different approach. It slows everything down. Harry and Voldemort stand in front of everyone, and instead of just fighting, Harry explains the wand, the mistakes, the truth Voldemort never understood. And when it ends, there's no dramatic transformation. Voldemort just dies. Like any other man. Why this matters. Because the story was never about who was stronger. It was about who understood things better. And in that moment, it becomes clear power didn't win. Insight did. So, yeah, the movies gave us something unforgettable. But the books, they give you the version where everything connects, where characters grow more, where choices carry more weight, where the world feels real, even with magic. And once you see that difference, you don't just rewatch the story. You start wanting to experience the full version. And trust me, this is only a fraction of what the books are hiding. So if you want more deep dives like this, subscribe for more.